Rattrap Productions, we show you how to do stuff. I made a pallet planter a few years back and it lasted great, but it eventually rotted. So there's some things I didn't like about using an actual pallet as a pallet planter, and part of it is because it's 2x4 pallet, so it couldn't hold a ton of soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a pallet planter using a lot thicker wood so that we can have more area to hold dirt. Rattrap Productions, we show you how to do stuff. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a pallet planter out of 2x8s and 1x6s. First thing what I'm going to do is I am going to true the boards. See how it's like a 1/4 of an inch higher than 8 feet. When they do it at the lumber yard, they cut it a little bit longer than 8 foot, even though this is an 8-foot 2x8. So I'm going to just true it up, because pallets are 4 foot by 4 foot. So I'm going to true this 8-foot board, and then I'm going to cut this 8-foot board into 2 pieces. So I'm going to have 2 cuts per board. One at 4 feet, and one at the excess of 8 feet. Instead of putting a center 2x8 in the middle, where I would have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short boxes for plants, okay? I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 long boxes. I'm not going to put the one in the middle. So drill pilot holes, just like this. Just an each 2x6. Ain't no thing. Mark your board at 2 feet so you get this board in the middle. Put them all together like that, okay? So we're just putting 2 2x8s, 3 boards so far. Pallet planter is starting to take shape. Here is the 3 planter boxes. There was 2 backings. Tomorrow I'm going to attach the 1x8s on the bottom here to fill that in, to make a planter box. And then we're going to stain it. I have my 1x8 material. I'm going to make the bottom of the shelves. So I'm going to make it like this. This is the bottom part. I mean, it could be the top or the bottom. I could even slide it in the bottom here or wherever I want. But let's just say that this is the bottom. So what I'm going to do is fill it in like that. I'm going to just take a couple screws, sink it in there, outdoor rated screws like decking screws, just to make sure the bottom of the shelf stays in there. Now, I can't go 4 feet, because this from here to here is 4 feet. I have the 2x8s on the inside of that. So even though it says they're 2x8s, they're actually 1.5. So what all I need to do is take 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3 inches off of the 4-foot length. So instead of 48 inches, it's going to be 45 inches. All right, remember that these are milled, and I can't trust that these ends are square. So the first cut I'm going to make is not at 45. I'm actually going to make it at 46 right here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I marked off 1 inch at the end of this board so that I can make sure that that's truly square. So I'm going to make 1 cut at 1 inch and then 1 cut at 46, if that makes sense. I measured from here to here. I'm going to get it all in there. Now what I'm going to do from the other side is I'm just going to knock it a little bit with the hammer. Just like that. Just in place. Like that. It definitely does not have to be perfect. I'm going to drill a couple pilot holes, put a couple screws in it, and then I'm fully boxed in. Rock it. These have been stained, these have been polyed with spar urethane. But now, this is the bottom of the shelf, so this is where the soil is going to be. It's tipped upside down, if you can imagine. I'm going to drill 3 holes with a 1 1/8 inch spade bit, so that when we water them, the water has somewhere to go. If we overwater it, or if we get a lot of rain or something like that, we don't, because I'm going to line this with really heavy black plastic, but I don't want that black plastic to hold all of the moisture and not let it drain like naturally. So what I'm going to do is drill these in before we put the last coat of spar urethane on. Then what we're going to do is on the inside of those holes, we're going to spar urethane that. This is not green treated wood, it's going to be sitting outside. So that's the next thing we're going to do. You don't have to do this, but I do. So there's the second coat of spar urethane on there. You can see that it's dry. And then what I've done is I've taken a 2x2. It's actually like a rail. It's green treated. And that is actually going to, this is the bottom. This is actually going to be like the feet that it's going to sit on top of so that it can drain and so that this doesn't sit on the ground. Because if this sits on the ground and it gets wet, it's going to rot eventually, even though we're spar urethaning it. So this will stop that from happening. So I'm going to line it with 6 mil black plastic. I tucked it around the end because this is going to be the back side of the pallet. You won't be able to see this once the plants start to grow anyway. And it's just a little more protection for the wood. And then the last thing I got to do is find those holes. Take a punch, cut a hole in there, push those down. That's where the water will escape. I'm thinking right about there.
Okay.
So we'll move this one here like that.